Hello there, it's Mrs. Tolle from Your Tutors. So today we're going to look into changing interest. Okay, so sometimes you find that you invest or you you borrow money, but what happens now is that the interest changes. Maybe after 5 years the interest changes, or it either increases or decreases. So now when the interest rate increases or changes, there's some adjustment that you need to understand there. So now let's try to check if we we can understand, and we can try the questions and and get the correct answers. Okay, I think you know what I like doing. I like give you questions first, try them. If you don't get them, the lesson is for you. After the class, again, come back and see if you can get those answers that you see there. Okay, now let's get to the questions for today. 360,000 is deposited in a bank. The interest rate for the first 7 years is 3.75% per annum, compounded annually. Thereafter, the interest rate changes to 4.8% per annum, compounded annually. Calculate the value of the investment at the end of the 13 years. So now, what happens here now is that you are dealing with interest here. So let's check here. Let's do a timeline here. Now, when we draw our timeline, we know that here at T0 there, how much was deposited is 360,000. Okay, now what was the percentage here? The interest rate here is 3.75 over 100, which is equal to 0.037. 375. Now, this is for how long? It's for 7 years. So for the first 7 years, that's what we see here. So up to T7. T7. So here up to T7. Now, from there onwards up until T13. Now, it means that thereafter the interest rate. Now, how do we get to 13? Let's just get here 11 minus 13. I think it's 6. Yeah, 6 years. So this for 7 years. So n is 7. Here n is equals to 6 years. Then our percentage here is 4.8. So it's gonna be 0.048. And what else do we need there? We don't need anything. But now, what is the amount here? That's the question. What do we do? It means that the first is going to increase using compound formula there, and it's going to reach after 7 years. So after 7 years, what do we have now? Our principal amount after 7 years will be equal to 360,000 in bracket 1 plus 0.0375 to the power of 7. That is our principal amount after 7 years. But the principal amount here on T0 is actually 360. Okay, so but now after increasing, it will have something like this: 360,000, accumulated amount that we have accumulated here. It will act as a principal. So what we need to understand here is that we have to calculate first the accumulated amount after 7. So we can just say accumulated amount after 7 years. What do? We're going to say 360,000 1 plus the formula here. I'm just going to put the formula for compound, which you guys, I think you understand by now. I the power of n. Okay, now let's go on here. 0.375 to the power of 7. Now let's see what we get there. 360,000 in bracket 1 plus 0.0375 to the power of 7. Let's see what we get there. It's 465,821. So 465,821. Okay, what is the decimal there? 1878. 18 0.78. Now, this here is accumulated amount after 7 years, but it will act as a principal amount after 7 years. Because now we want to check what is now, it's continuing to accumulate. Remember, it's still in the bank. The amount is still in the bank, but now what will happen now is we increase with a different interest rate now. So this, in this case here, our principal amount on this one here, like I said here, this one is going to be 465,821,1878. Now it means that accumulated amount after 7 years, what do we do? Accumulated amount after 13 is going to be that principal amount that we have here, which is going to be 465,821,1878 in bracket 1 plus the new interest rate now is 0.048 the power of 6. That's what we have there. So let's see what we get there. If we do that, let's say multiplied here, 1 plus 0.048 the power of 6. So we get 617,144. So it's 617,144. Is it comma there? Comma 60. So it's comma 60. That's our accumulated amount. So just remember that you need to calculate first for the first period that you are given. Then again, there, whatever value that you get accumulated amount, it will act as a principal amount. Okay, on the next year, what you call the last 6 years there. Okay, now let's get to see another question here, if we and see if we can understand. Apiwe invest 450,000 in a share market over 15-year period. The average interest rate was 5.5% per annum compounded annually for the first 8 years, and 6.9% per annum compounded annually for the remaining 7 years. How much money will she have saved at the end of the 15-year period? Now, so it means that we are not going to deal with the 15-year. We don't have to deal with 15 in this case. We deal with the 8 and the 7. So here we have our first 8 years? Yes, first 8 years, and the remaining 7 years. So here we have 450,000, and here is T0 there, and there is T8, and here is T15. So in this case here we've got 7 years there. There we've got 8 years. So our N is 8, our N here is 7, our I here is 0.055, our I here is 0.069. Okay, and we can do that now. So what we know now is that at this point here, we're going to have our P, principal amount, which is going to be equal to accumulated amount, which we get by saying 450,000 there, 1 plus I, which is 5,0,055 to the power of 8. That's what we use as our principal amount there. Now let's try to get the first accumulated amount here. Okay, it's A. After 8 years, we're going to say 450,000 bracket 1 plus 0.055 to the power 8, which will get as, so it's 450,000 in bracket 1 plus 0.055. What do we get to the power of 8? Let's see what we get. 690,000. There 608.93. So this one here, we're going to use it again to calculate what is it, our accumulated after 15, which we know that we're going to say that amount that we have there, 608.93 in bracket 1 plus, what is our I, is 0.069 now to the power of 7. Then what do we get there? Let's see what we get. So we're going to say times 1 plus 0,069 bracket the power of 7. And this is what we get. It's 1 million. It's 1,101,000. Okay, 732. Okay, 0.42. That's accumulated amount that you get there after 15 years. So I think you guys understand that you need to split it. You need to split it. When you split it, first find for the first 8 years, then the remaining 7 years. Okay, then you won't have a problem. Now let's look on the last one here, which is what we call Mopo deposit 90,000 in a savings account, paying 15% per annum compounded annually. After 5 years, the interest rate increases by 4%. 3 years later, the interest rate decreases by 3%. Calculate the value of your investment after 10 years. So what do we do? Let's come again with our timeline. Our timeline shows us that in the T0, what do we have? 90,000 deposited. And now after 5 years, so here it's just going to be the first 5 years. So T5, what is our I at T5? Our at T5 is going to be 0,15. Okay. Now we are told that after 5, the interest rate increased by 4. So 3 years later, now we know that T8. So 5 plus 3, T8. T8 now, what do we have is T8 is for 3 years here. So here it's 5 years. So N is 5. Then here N is 3. So here goes 3 years later. Okay. So here we after 5 years, the interest rate increased by. Sorry. It increased by. So after 5 years, the interest rate increased by 4%. So if it's increased to 19%. So here our I now is actually 19%. I is 19%, which is 0,19. Okay, 0,19. And now, okay, 3 years later, the interest rate decreases by 3. So now when it decreases by 3, so it means that from T8 going forward there up to T10. So here our T10 is here. And we're told that the remaining is going to be decreased by 3%. So we're going to say now 19 minus 3. 19 minus 3 is going to be equal to 16. So here I is going to be equal to 0,16. That's what we have there. And what is our N here? Our N here is 2. So you give 5 years first, then you've got 3 years, then you've got 2 years, and they add up to 10 years. Now, what do? We're going to say, okay, what is the first accumulated amount there? A is going to be equals to A5, because we want accumulated amount in 5 years. It's going to be equals to 90,000. 1 plus I is 0,15 to the power of N. What is our N in this case? It's 5. Okay, our N is 5 there. Then what do we get? Let's see what we get. 90,000. 1 plus 0,15. What is it? To the power of 5. We get 181,022. 181,022, comma, there is 15, 15. Now that's the first amount. So here, what about accumulated amount after 8 years? So after 8 years, this one here is going to be equal to, we take whatever amount that we get here, A5. So it means that our P, our AP there, our P at this point here is A5, which we got here. Then here our P at this point is A8, which we got here. So now what do we know here? N is equal to 3. So we're going to calculate. Let's see what we're going to get there. Is going to be equals to 181,022,15 in bracket 1 plus 0,19, because the interest have changed to the power of 3. And let's see what we get there. We're just going to say times, then 1 plus 0,19 in bracket the power of 3. What do we get? 305,051. 305,051, 1. That's what we get there. That's our A8. Then we know that our A15, which is the A10, sorry, accumulated amount, the final amount there is going to be equals to 305,051 there, 1 in bracket 1 plus 0,16 to the power of 2, because the remaining 2 years now. So here, what we're going to say, times, we put in bracket 1 plus 0,16 to the power of 2. What do we get? We get 410,476. So it's 410,476,76. So this is the final amount that you get is the total accumulated amount. So remember, when you're dealing with your 5 plus 3 plus 2 must equate to 10 years, the total loan period here, because the total loan period here is 10, not loan as such, but investment period is 10 years. So you must make that the first 5 years plus the next 3 plus the last 2. So you just make sure that you are able to read that and actually keep that in mind, and also in your calculations. Okay, thank you so much. Until next time.